Hello, my YouTube beauties. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are throwing it back to a wear test. I love wear tests. I miss them so much. And I have a really exciting foundation that just launched to test out today. So I'm going to be testing out the Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer Long Wear Makeup. Estee Lauder does have an original double wear, which is great. It's super full coverage, super matte, super long wearing. Like, it is the real deal, very, very foundation-y foundation. I don't know if that makes sense. But this is supposed to be a sheer matte long wear version of it. So I think the biggest difference is it has less pigment. So if you enjoy wear testing and found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up to let me know. And don't forget to subscribe if you are enjoying the content and want to stick around. So I'm trying to do wear tests a little bit closer. If you guys want me to zoom in even closer, I definitely can, but I feel like this is probably a good place to start. So this foundation retails for $43. You get 1 ounce of product. There are 26 different shades, which is pretty decent. I have mine in the shade Ivory Nude 1N1. So this is the second to lightest shade. It's described as light with neutral peach undertones. I thought this one was the best shade for me because sometimes my skin can pull a little bit more peachy, not necessarily cool toned, but not super warm. And it's kind of this like weird neutral peach undertone, and sometimes my skin looks olive. It changes, I think, and so hopefully the shade matches me. I could have gone with light with warm undertones, but that one just looked really warm. Online it says this has SPF 19 in it. It's a sheer matte makeup with all day long wear. It's supposed to look fresh, healthy, and undetectable while feeling weightless and comfortable. There's tons of benefits on here. I'm on the Ulta website right now. It says that it is weightless, 12-hour wear, color true, non-creasing, non-poring. I don't know what non-poring means. Maybe it is supposed to blur your pores. It's oil-free and controls shine, has anti-pollution protection. It is humidity and sweat resistant, no caking for all skin types, won't cause breakouts or clog pores. So it's non-acnegenic, which I've seen other foundations claim to be non-comedogenic, which means like it's not going to clog your pores, but this is supposed to be non-acnegenic, so not supposed to get more acne from wearing this. It's dermatologist tested, ophthalmologist tested. Online, it only has 3 reviews. Like I said, this launched very, very recently. I saw it on the Trend Mood Instagram and knew I had to pick it up. I did really like the original Estee Lauder Double Wear, but it just was so pigmented. Like, it looked like I was wearing on my skin, it looked like stage makeup. It was just very, very full coverage. So I'm hoping that this one is a little bit less full coverage. I did apply a little bit of my Tarte Clean Slate Primer just in my T-zone area. And as you can see, I do have some acne going on because I'm like 4 weeks postpartum right now and my hormones are still trying to figure it out. So I'm hoping that this can cover my acne but still look pretty sheer and pretty, you know, lightweight and kind of fit in with what I feel like foundations are kind of gearing towards now. A lot of them are kind of like this fresh, healthy, glowy looking foundation that's lightweight. There haven't been a whole lot of foundations that are coming out that are long wearing, full coverage, and matte. That's just kind of not what people are into right now. If you're new to my channel, I do have oily skin and I do my wear tests for at least 10 hours. I believe I'll have this on for a little bit longer just to give it a good amount of time to see how it wears on my skin. So here is what the packaging looks like. Very sleek. The packaging looks a little bit more like a skin tint. You know how it's kind of like the squeeze tube. It has this nice kind of rose gold reflective cap. Sounds very liquidy. And it does have this kind of squeeze applicator. Oh, okay. You don't even have to like pour this out. It just kind of falls, like you turn it over and the foundation just kind of comes out. So that tells you how liquidy it is. I'm glad I got this shade because I think that is going to match me. And you can see it's very liquidy. I'm going to take my makeup eraser sponge to apply this. I don't really know how much this sponge is going to soak up the product. The answer is a lot. Okay, well, we're going to have to use a lot of this product. It's going on very sheer, definitely sheer. Maybe I should have brought a foundation brush down, but I don't. So we're just going to build it up with a sponge. There you go. All of that product that I had on there is totally gone. I'm going to have to go in with more, and I didn't even do half my face. So I'm wondering if, you know, brush is the way to go with this product. I don't usually like how foundations look with a brush on my skin. I feel like they look dry even though I have oily skin. So I do prefer a sponge. Oh, and I didn't tell you the time. It's 11:30 right now. Spreading very quickly. Oh, it's looking nice. I know that this formula said sheer. I don't expect it to be super full coverage or even like medium coverage, but I do wonder if I could build this up on my acne spots. It does look like it's buildable. I'm gonna go in now with a third time of more of this. I think the shade actually matches me very well. So if you're fair, this might be a really good shade option for you, or if you have a skin tone similar to mine. This looks so nice on the skin. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna zoom you in even closer just so you can really get an idea of how it's looking. All right, hopefully you guys can see this on my skin. It looks so nice. It even has just a tiny bit of a glow. Not super radiant, but I would say right now it's definitely kind of like a satin matte finish. Feels very lightweight on the skin. It doesn't even feel like I have foundation on, which is one of my biggest criticisms of the original Double Wear, is that it just felt really heavy. This does not. And you can still see some of my acne coming through. So I'm just gonna add a tiny bit more. I would call this like a good 2 layers. You can definitely get more sheer coverage out of this, or you can build it up. It's sitting very nicely, kind of just all over. I mean, it really looks very nice. And I really am enjoying the little bit of glow that is on my face right now. Yeah, I'm like very, very impressed. I think it looks so good. This is definitely the amount of coverage that I'm comfortable with. So even though it says sheer, I think you can definitely build it up if you do prefer a little bit more coverage, like a medium coverage foundation, but it just looks so pretty. I'm curious to see how it's going to set down and how other products apply on top. But so far, I'm really liking it. There's not a section that I think looks bad on my skin. And I find it interesting, it does say for all skin types, even though it's matte. So it should, hopefully, if you have dry skin, and not cling to your dry patches and make you look extra dry. But we'll see how it looks on my skin. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup. I will be back to share how everything applied and kind of more of my thoughts after it's sat on my skin for a while. All right, guys, I'm back. It is 11:43, so I'm just gonna call the check-in time 11:45. Finished the rest of my makeup. I'm really, really happy with how this looks, minus how it looks on my forehead. I feel like it is clinging just a tiny bit to my dry patches. Now, that could also just be like post-pregnancy hormones, that my skin is pulling a little bit more dry in some areas right now than it normally would. So if you have dry skin, maybe be a little bit careful, use a very moisturizing base, but I still think you could definitely wear this because everywhere else it looks so, so pretty. I think it adds just a tiny bit of that like satin matte glow where it looks skin-like. It's not going to sit on your skin and like pull the life out of it and look super matte. So I'm curious to see how it's going to wear throughout the day. I really, really like how everything applied on top. Just real quick, I'll show you guys what I used on my face today. So for powder, I used my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. Bronzer, used this Juvia's Place bronzed bronze palette. Really love this. It has a contour and a bronze shade. For my blush, I used the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Powder Blush in the shade Desert Rose. It's a really pretty kind of soft, peachy kind of shade. And then for highlight, I went in with the Makeup Revolution Highlighter Reloaded in the shade Just My Type. And for my eyes, I just added the Juvia's Place bronzer in the crease and put this all over my lid for a tiny bit of a glow. And then for mascara, I used the same mascara. This is a great mascara, been loving it and kind of going through it because it's almost dry and I need to use it up. For my lips, I went in with this Sugar Rose tinted lip treatment in the shade probably Rosé. Yep, it is in the shade Rosé. For brows, used the NYX, the brow glue, and then the brow pencil. Still testing out the brow glue. I'm gonna be having a video coming soon doing some different speed reviews on products that I have recently got because it doesn't make sense to do a video just on like one product. So I'm kind of trying them all out, giving them a really good test to see how they do, and still testing this out, but yes, that is the brows today. I would compare this right now to how maybe a little bit more of a matte version of the L'Oreal Fresh Wear, just a tiny bit more matte. But I'm really loving how it is wearing, and so I'm gonna wear this out today, check in at the very end of the evening, and let you guys know my thoughts on how it wore. But if you've tried out this foundation and you have some thoughts on it, please let me know that down below. All right, you guys, I am back. It's the very end of the evening. It is, let's see here, 10:51. So I've had this on for almost, what, 12 hours-ish, a little under that. Here's how my skin is looking. I actually think it held up really freaking well. It did rub off a little bit on my acne spots right here, but I also was kind of like laying down and managing a baby, and so, you know, he kind of like rubs into your face a little bit, so it could have been that as well that kind of rubbed off that area. In terms of how it held up throughout the day, like, it looked so, I think, skin-like, so healthy, with it being a satin matte finish, and the fact that my skin right now does not look super oily. Like, it definitely controlled my oil. Didn't sink into my fine lines too much. It is sinking into my forehead lines just a little bit, but my cheeks look great. It doesn't look like it's rubbed off anywhere major, and it seemed to hold the rest of my products on my skin pretty well. Like my highlighter, bronzer, blush, it's all still there. It looks really nice. It looks like I could continue to wear this foundation for many more hours and have it look pretty decent. I like this even more than the original Double Wear foundation, and I'm definitely going to continue to use this. So huge thumbs up for this. I think it's a really good product so far based on my first impression. I have a very tired and baby and myself very tired. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video here, get the baby, get myself to bed for like an hour and a half before I have to wake up and feed him. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.